Hello everyone, it's Mr. Punquist from Heavy Ammo Inbound, and today I want to talk about the new game mode coming to Forsaken, Gambit. So I'm going to cut to the chase here. Personally, I believe that Gambit should be either the only or one of the competitive game modes if Destiny ever makes a jump to esports again. Now Gambit could either be taken like a respawn game mode, assuming it follows the COD comp standard, or it could be the only mode. Personally, I would want it to be the only mode, but I can totally understand why maybe two different game modes could be how it plays out, to make the entire games last longer, maybe to make it more exciting, as opposed to 3 games of Gambit, 1 game of Countdown, 1 game of Survival, 1 game of Gambit, something like that. However, I'm going to focus on if it was just Gambit in the comp game mode. Now I'm firmly on the side of Gambit comp only, because I believe it blends the two modes of Destiny so well together, based on what we've seen by people who played it. So I believe that playing Gambit would show off the two best parts of Destiny, and with the mix of PvE and PvP, it would also grab more people as opposed to just it being PvP. And hopefully they'd watch more of it and fund the esport more and maybe try to compete in it, giving us bigger player pools, giving us more people to watch, giving us more people to root for, stuff like that. Really just growing the scene a lot more. And another reason why is that I feel like it would be one of the most accessible esports, in my opinion, if it was just Gambit. The fact it's partly PvE means you really only need 1 or 2 Slayers in a team before, 1 to defend attacks from invaders and 1 to invade, and after that you can have the 2 other PvE players just DPS the boss and get that optimal DPS that everyone loves. This would make the less than average PvPers still feel like they can contribute without having to slay. Most Destiny players are PvE players, so they know the lingo for the PvE boss damage and the strategy for how to take them down because they've done it with their own team. Knowing what's going on would also make them more invested, and they'd attempt to watch more, and again, they'd try to join, and it would just build up the player pool. And we know that PvE comp is at least someone's cup of tea, because I mean, MLG and Red Bull made a whole tournament around it with the whole speedrunning Strike Clash Course event. The speedrunning of Strike showed how efficient Guardians could be when it came to taking out AI mobs, and make it still look flashy as hell, just like a multiplayer shooter, like a COD or a Halo or a Counter-Strike. Another big thing about Gambit is that more exotics would be allowed, hypothetically speaking, as opposed to normal PvP. With normal PvP, there is and always will be a meta, just like any multiplayer shooter. However, while the PvE also usually has a meta for high play, it's usually a bigger range of weapons, obviously not counting the Blackhammer, Galahorn, Fatebringer days of Destiny 1. And while most endgame is just one map, a raid, Gambit will have multiple maps, meaning the meta could switch with each map, adding different weapon types and different weapon abilities and different weapons in general to the mix. So I want to expand on this more, but I just don't have the smarts for this, honestly. So I'm hoping if I just scream this into the void as a basic idea, someone smarter than me will pick it up and run with it, and hopefully it can go somewhere. Gambit, in my opinion, is truly the perfect encapsulation of Destiny, and the only way I want to see it hit the esports circuit. That might sound blasphemous, but personally I like Gambit as a game mode better than PvE in Destiny as of right now. But honestly, whether as a rotation game or representing Destiny solo, I just hope Destiny eventually breaks into esports, because I believe it's definitely a place that Destiny belongs. I mean, it's a Bungie game for Pete's sake, but you know, whatever. I guess we'll see what happens after this new meta change in Forsaken. Hopefully more people start playing, hopefully more competition starts sprouting up, like even just non-sponsored ones, no UMGs or anything, no MLGs I mean, just like the ones that happened a few weeks ago that all those streamers competed in. More of those would be really cool. But anyways, this is Mr. Punquist from Heavy Ammo Inbound, signing out. I will see you guys next time. Also, this is our 2nd week of consistency, so that means we can finally start uploading other videos to the channel. Maybe expect a Black Ops 4 video on Sunday or Saturday, depending on which one I decide to get up first. Yeah, but this is a whole new era for Heavy Ammo Inbound, so I hope you guys are ready.